What's going on, guys? Stony Rob here, back for another YouTube video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, because mine is going amazing like every other day. If you stumbled upon this video and clicked on it, you're most likely wondering how to hide the smell of weed. This is the second episode of the StonerTips series, so sit back, light it up, and enjoy the rest of the video. So first off, I'm gonna start by saying I'm not gonna lie, like on 90% of the YouTube channels out there, I'ma just keep it straight up 100. There's no magic way to hide the smell of weed. You just can't. But there's a few ways you can minimize the smell and potentially not get caught. Let's start off with the most obvious and common one. Just smoke out of a pipe. This is the simplest trick in the book. If you don't want to smell like weed, well, smoke out of a pipe. The only thing that's gonna really smell is maybe your breath, obviously, and the pipe itself. Your hands won't smell and the smoke isn't gonna go deep in your clothes like a joint or a blunt. The only downside to this is that the pipe is really gonna stink. So you might want to keep it outside or something, like keep it outside, like next to your door, or I don't know, like hide it somewhere where rain or dirt or snow won't get to it. Another way to reduce the smell, if let's say you're smoking a joint or a blunt, is to put yourself in the opposite direction of the wind. I know it sounds simple and stupid, but trust me, the reason you smell is because the wind is blowing the smoke all over your body or just floating around you, you know what I mean? Just stand against the wind and the smoke is going to travel away from you and not against you. Lots of people neglect this and wonder why they smell so much. I know sometimes it's hard to think about this simple thing, but it can be crucial to your survival, you dig? So just think about it next time when you're trying to avoid smelling like that dank kush. Now let's say you did smoke away from the wind, but you still smell. Well, at this point you have two options. Option one is to wait it out. Generally, after 1 hour outside, the smell should subside. Like wash your hands and eat a piece of gum. Unless someone comes up to you and starts sniffing your clothes, you should be safe, right? Option two would be to pack another shirt or hoodie, or like, smoke if you can without your shirt, if that's an option, and you should be fine. Like if you pack another shirt, just switch up the shirts. It won't smell, or take off your shirt. Your body's not gonna reek as much as a shirt, right? It's not cotton. Now, considering you're smoking indoors and you're trying to hide the smell from like a landlord, well, this one needs a little more strategic thinking. Open up the windows and turn on the kitchen fan. Try to exhale outside the house. This should mitigate the smell from staying inside your home or apartment. If you want to take it one step further, then put a wet towel under the door. That way the smell won't seep through the door and outside where someone can smell it. Also, keep your apartment or room clean. If like for some reason the landlord comes in or whatever, the fact that it's neat or tidy inside might deter him from like even noticing the smell. Because like if it looks like a trap house and it smells like weed, it goes hand to hand. But if it looks neat, minimalistic, or whatever, he's just gonna brush it off and be like, oh, it's probably the neighbors or some shit like that, right? So for the people that are still living in their parents' house, this method isn't foolproof, but I'm gonna give you the best way to hide the smell if you just, let's say, can't go outside and smoke it and you're trying to smoke it like out the window or in your room type of shit, I recommend keeping an apple handy and a device called the Smoke Buddy. I'm not in any way, shape, or form sponsored by them, but I can vouch for the product. Make a pipe with the apple and light it up. Make sure you clear the whole bowl and exhale in the Smoke Buddy outside the window. When you're done smoking, just throw it out the window. I'm talking about the apple, not the Smoke Buddy, by the way. Honestly, there's no way to hide the smell if you're smoking a joint unless your parents are like chronic cigarette smokers, and in that case, you might be able to do it because like cigarettes hinder your smell and the house will probably smell like cigs, so you should be fine relatively. Now let's say you smoke in your car but you need to drive your parents to work the next day. Honestly, don't hotbox it first of all. Even if you do, crack the windows up while driving and just drive around. That should remove a good chunk of the smell. Then whip out that Febreze and start spraying and you should be good to go. Now let's say you did hotbox it, forgot to open up the windows while driving or arrive home. If you have a can of Febreze handy, just tape the can of Febreze where the nozzle is, the handle, and bomb the car overnight. Like it's gonna perpetually keep spraying until there's none left. The next morning, open up the windows like 2 hours before the ride, and that way the smell of intense Febreze like will come out and you're safe to go like nothing happened. I think this is like a better option than to get caught with the smell of weed. You prefer to like reek the car of Febreze than it smelling like weed, if you know what I mean. That's pretty much all the tips I could give you guys. Most of the tips that I listed have been tested by me, and I can say it has like a success rate of 8 out of 10. it's not foolproof, because depending on the person you're hiding it from, they might still notice. So yeah, keep like a Purell bottle with you, as if that's not necessary right now with all this Rona shit, and like a pack of gum. That should take care of the smell inside your mouth and on you. And like for smoking indoors, just take the measures I listed above and you should be fine. Well, that pretty much settles it for this Stoner Tips video. If you guys enjoyed this video, then smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. This is Stony Rob, and you know what? I'm out.